Good day. Hello. Welcome to the Solid Experts monthly technical tip series. I'm John Nolan, your technical representative for Solid Experts in New England, and today I'm going to show you another in our series of tech tips related to SolidWorks Composer. Now, I do have Composer open, and I have in fact already transferred this file. But what I want to point out is this file actually started as a step file. Now, step files are particularly good for bringing in large assemblies, or perhaps working with partner firms and so forth, other people who do not have your preferred CAD system, be that SolidWorks or anything else for that matter, or for getting files from vendors and other people who perhaps do not want to give you their native files. So step files are generally for the CAM production portion of the process, and you can just file open them from the files of type here, step. Okay? So that's fairly straightforward. And again, it opens you up into files that are not native to your CAD system. But one of the other interesting points, and these are some of the things that people forget, there's many other file formats that Composer can open. And particularly in a situation like this where we have a large assembly, we want some sense of scale. Is this thing as big as a desk, a car, or a house? Right? And without a image of a person or some other known reference object, it's hard to get a real good sense of scale. And a lot of times you'll want that in your Composer images. So here, one thing we can do is I'll go back to our file open, and I've pre-downloaded this one. We've got a 3D XML. 3D XML is a nice lightweight format. You can actually produce it with the new designer modules that are cloud-based from Dassault and SolidWorks. You can also find them in online content libraries, such as 3D Via sites, 3D Content Central, and many other places. So in this case, we're going to choose to merge that new object and as a 3D XML, and we're going to drop it into our existing assembly here. Again, what's nice about this is it's a relatively small file format, and it opens rather quickly. Now we have our fellow. I'll go ahead and move him forward. Turn off my perspective view again. Switch to rotate. And bring him around 90 degrees. And so quite quickly, we now have a much better sense of scale in our Composer document as to how big our device is relative to a standard person. And you can find bunches of these. As I said, 3D Via. It now even opens you up to things like Thingiverse. So the next thing I'm going to show is, and this one is not particularly well documented. I'm going to file open again. This time I'm grabbing an STL file. Now it does not appear on the list of approved or authorized file formats, but it does in fact work. Again, I'm turning off the faces. I'm going to choose to take textures, which may not apply in most STL files. And we'll go ahead and open that fellow. And this kind of works because, in fact, SolidWorks itself can open STL files. One thing of note, when you do bring in an STL file, it is off for visibility by default. Simply turning it on corrects that. And now we can slide that over and reset our scene. Now this opens you up, both of these file formats open you up into bringing in content actors as scenery, props, scale factors as I've noted, a whole host of other things allowing you to create better images and animations and so forth without having to have your engineers and so forth import those models as CAD geometry for you. You can add them into your scenes and so forth directly in Composer, and in fact Composer allows you to merge those objects into a new scene and Composer file. Hopefully that helps you in your documentation later on. Thank you for your time and attention, and stay tuned next month for yet another Solid Experts technical tip about SolidWorks Composer.